Hi and welcome. Today we're going to make a really good recipe. It's secret cheeseburgers with sweet potato fries, okay? So our ingredients today are sweet potatoes, which do exactly what it says in the tin. They are sweet potatoes and they're delicious. Don't be put off if you haven't had them before, give them a try. We have some minced beef. We also have some cheddar cheese. We have some Dijon mustard. We have a little bit of dried garlic, some cumin, some paprika, some salt, some pepper, some vegetable or sunflower oil, and a little bit of sweet chili sauce. Down the front here we have some cheddar cheese, which is really good. Okay, first of all, we're going to prepare our sweet potato. I'm just going to top and tail this. There is no need to peel sweet potatoes. The outside and the skin gives a lovely nuttiness. So I would advise just try it with the skin on. For the purpose of today, I'm just going to make 2 burgers, so I'm only going to use half my sweet potato, but this can remain in the fridge. Just wrap it up in a little bit of cling film and it'll remain in the fridge for a couple of days. As you can see, when I cut it, it bleeds. And that is due to the sugar content of it, okay? So I'm going to put this one to the side, and again, that will last for a couple of days. Be careful when chopping sweet potato. It is very hard. It's not as soft as a regular potato, so just be careful and take your time. So I'm just going to cut it in half. Again, I'm being careful. And I'm just going to cut it into little wedges. So I'm making sweet potato wedges, and we're going to bake these in the oven. Sweet potatoes are beautiful. They're really good as wedges and a good alternative to regular potatoes. So again, there's a little bit of skin there that I don't like the look of, so I'm just going to take that off. And I'm cutting them into this size piece because I know they're going to cook evenly, so I'm going to cut them all the same size. And again, when you're leaving the skin on and you're cooking it, it gives a lovely nutty flavour. So again, just take your time when chopping. Take your time, it's really important, because if a finger lost is a finger that cannot be replaced. So again, just making them all similar sizes. And there we go. Now, there are my sweet potatoes, and I'm just going to pop them into a bowl. Okay, and into this bowl we're going to drizzle a little bit of just vegetable oil, sunflower oil, about 2 tablespoons. Okay, and we're just going to give them a little toss, so we're coating them. Now, a little bit of seasoning. We're going to add some salt, good bit of salt. I always think the main difference between home-cooked food and restaurant food is seasoning and sauces. So, plenty of seasoning at each stage. So that's salt and pepper. I'm going to go in with a little bit of dried garlic, just a little. If you don't like garlic, don't use it. Up to you. Again, there's no rules. Just do whatever makes you feel comfortable. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of paprika. Paprika is ground chilies, but it's not too spicy. Again, if you don't like chili, don't pop it in. Okay, again, you can see the oil makes it nice and glazed. And the oil allows all the salt, the pepper, the garlic, and the paprika to stick to the sweet potato fries. Okay? Now, I'm just going to grab a tray. I have some greaseproof paper on the tray. Sweet potatoes tend to stick, so I like to have greaseproof paper on my tray, and I'm simply going to just tumble them out like that. Okay? And I'm going to shake them until they're all flat, just onto one layer. And that's really important. We want them to cook evenly, so they need to be in a single layer. Okay? So we're just going to set those aside. Now, the beef. Secret cheeseburgers are secret cheeseburgers, and this is what you're going to, why you're going to see why. So I'm just going to put my beef into a bowl. Okay? I'm going to quickly just wipe my hands. And I'm going to go in with some seasoning again. I'm going to go in with some sea salt. Beef needs seasoning, so don't be afraid to give it a good twist of salt and of pepper. Now, I am going to give it a little touch of cumin. Cumin is a North African spice, And cumin brings out great flavour in beef. So again, I'm not going to tip it in. I'm just going to add a little bit to my hand, or you can use a spoon. We only want a little touch of it, so even a quarter teaspoon goes a long way. Okay? A little bit of cumin. So the next thing, I'm going to use a little bit of mustard. This is a lovely Dijon mustard, and Dijon is a mild mustard. So I'm going to use just 1 teaspoon, just 1 level teaspoon. If you are using a strong mustard or an English mustard, the one with the yellow label, just use a little, maybe a half teaspoon of it. Okay, and mustard isn't about heat, it's about flavour. Okay, so in here we have our beef, we have our cumin, our salt, our pepper, our Dijon mustard, and a little secret ingredient is a little bit of sweet chilli sauce. Now this is a bottle that everybody has stuck to the back of the press, so give it a good shake and go in with about 1 tablespoon of sweet chilli. Okay? And you'll see when you taste these exactly why we put the sweet chilli in. It lends a lovely, lovely flavour and sweetness to it, and it kind of caramelises the burgers. Putting that aside for a second, I'm just going to cut 2 cubes of cheddar cheese. Okay, and the reason I'm cutting them into little cubes is because we're going to tuck them into the centre of the burger. So setting that aside, I have my 2 pieces of cheddar cheese, my hands are clean, and I'm just going to go in with my hands and break it all up and mush it together. Your hands are your best tools in cooking, okay? And don't be afraid to use them. So what I'm doing is I'm squashing it all together. I'm breaking down the mince so it's no longer in strands. I want it to be smooth. This also is blending all the ingredients together very nicely. I can get the smell of the sweet chili, the cumin. It smells beautiful. So I'm just bringing it together until it comes into a ball. And here it goes, 1 ball, and then I'm just going to split it in 2. I'm making 2 burgers, so I'm going to make 2 large burgers. So again, I'm just going to use my hands. I have gloves on, saves the washing up. And I'm just going to shape it. The idea is that I'm taking out all the little creases in it, because the creases are what's going to make it open. So now that I'm blending my burger, I'm making a little hole in the centre, and I'm popping in my piece of cheddar cheese, just like that. So what I'm doing now is I'm moulding it to ensure that the cheddar cheese stays in the centre. I don't want it closer to one side or closer to the other side. I just want it to stay in the middle, so that when we bite into that lovely burger, that the cheese oozes out of it. And that's why it's called a secret cheeseburger. Okay, so I have that 1 burger ready there, and here goes my second one. Whoops. Now, so again, blending it, using your hands. Again, this is a good one to get the kids involved in because they like it. And wearing the gloves means they don't mind it too much. Again, placing a little hole in the burger, popping in our piece of cheese and moulding it around it. This is a really good way of using up cheese that is looking a little bit tired that's in the fridge. It's a really good way of using it up because it melts and it's really nice and unctuous. You can use any cheese you want, really. You can use cheese triangles. Cream cheese probably doesn't work. You could use blue cheese. You could use any cheese you prefer, really. Now, so there I have a nice smooth burger, and we have 2 little pieces there. So over here I have a tray. Ideally, if you can leave these rest in the fridge for a little while before you cook them, it is better, because after blending the meat and moulding it, it just does it. It makes it really, really good if you can leave it in the fridge for even an hour or so, okay? You can make these the day before and pop them into the fridge. You can even make them a few days and put them into the freezer, okay? So you can see they're nice and high and smooth. I can feel the cheese. It's probably a little close to the top on that one. Now, so the beauty of these is they cook in similar times. So we'll pop these into an oven of about 180 degrees. I would put the sweet potatoes on the top level, and I would put the burgers underneath, and they will cook in around 25 minutes, okay? Probably at 180 degrees. Now, here we have our beautiful secret cheeseburgers. You can see that they're lovely and glazed on the outside, and that's from the sweet chili sauce. And you can see the cheese, it's like a volcano erupting. It's beautiful. And we know it's fully cooked inside because the cheese is melted. So that means the inside and the core temperature has reached it and it's nice and cooked. So now we're going to plate it up. I have a burger bun. They smell divine. I'm just gonna, I have some little tomatoes here. It's nice to serve tomatoes with the burger. A little bit of basil. And now we're just going to get a little bit chefy with our sweet potatoes. I'm just going to plate them up nicely like this. It's going to go crisscross in threes. Okay. Just a little bit chefy because we can. And the sweet potatoes are lovely and caramelized, and that skin, that outer skin, is so good and healthy for you. So there we have it, a homemade secret cheeseburger with sweet potatoes.